Salute, 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 salute. Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows a divine mind shows all things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people. Struggle, salute, salute, salute as you come on in. Please know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space of learning and getting learned up. This is a space of educating and being educated. This is a space for comments, concerns, questions, answers, dialogues, conversation, intelligence, analyzing. This is a space of love, unity. This is your space where we all are on a path towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please put all contact information in the chat for the duration of class. Classroom assistants, please put all funding information and links in the chat throughout the class for the duration of class. Please fund this war effort. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management assistance, please book an assessment. Find out if you're a little bit too angry, if you get triggered and don't know how to bring it back down. If you're about to have a moment where keeping it real goes wrong, book an assessment. Come on in and get some of that mental health awareness. If you or anybody you know is in need of domestic violence interventions, please book an assessment. If you or anyone you know, I'm telling you, employer, employee, cousin, auntie, uncle, you understand? Your student, your neighbor, your mailman. If you suspect that they are going through an intimate relationship, abusive situation, please book an assessment so you can find out the alerts, what the alarms are, what you need to notice, the warning signs. Okay? Remember, the life you save could be your own. Yes. Indeed, late night, so I know the West Coast is loving it. Yeah. Some of them CNAs and them nurses, yeah, I know y'all loving it. And definitely some of y'all dudes has been out in the blocks, scratching your ass all day. You are glad that this is a late class, but we ain't gonna be on here long. I can tell you that right now. So you know what? Even though it's not a long class, it is an important class. So please tag your classmates, especially the brothers. Yeah, call your comrades, tag the black men. Because we need to get down with the get down. Please, tag them, tell them to come on through so we can hear them. We need them in class. Don't you be one of those foul guards, you know? Kendall Hampton, salute for funding the war effort. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't be foul, okay? And sit back in this class and you're a grown-ass man. And you not tell your mans and them to come through. All right? Tag them. So while you're at it, tag Corey Holcomb. Yeah, tag him. Another class favorite, please, somebody tag Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Charleston White while you're at it. Tag them, tell them to come to class. Yeah. Tag the ex-football player Ricky Williams. Tell him to come to class too. Yep, tag him. And tag Teyana Taylor. Yeah, tag sister girl. We need her to come on through because she was fiery. Now let's see who's in class tonight. Yeah, lovely lady. You in class? I see you, lovely lady. What's up? April Brown, glad you could join us. Out there in the DMV. Salute to you, Adrian Graham. What's going on? And popping opinions. What's up? TC, what it do? C Blaze is up late night. What up, C Blaze? Merklo, what's going on? Bushhead. Salute, Black Leaf, what up? Junebug 83, what's good? 55, you the first 55 of the night, Junebug. Yeah, where you been? Turner, yes, Ira. Walaikum assalam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, Rugi Hauser, what up? Cleavon McClendon, 55, Cleavon, yeah. 55 for missing a couple of classes, and 55 for having a name like you was in Cooley High. Yeah, take that 55 with you. Yes. Melody Warren, salute. M. Cadet, you made it to class and you get a 55. Yeah, girl, you like to shake it. You like to stylish. You like to be flashy in the hallways. Get your ass to class. 55. PJ Allen, what's going on? 55 for you too. Yeah, we see you. What's going on? Hey, A-Wood. Andrea Jones, what's going on? Yes, Sean Jenkins. Emerge, what up, Merge? Hollow, no face. Yeah, here we go, Hollow. You ain't got no face, but you got a 55. Take that. Yeah. Maxwell Trucking. Cookie, what up? Joel, what's up? Ricky Huger. What up, brother-in-law? What's going on with you? You up late night? Yeah. Cookie, what up? Gressler, the global hustler. What up, the bag of bones coming in from Zurich, Switzerland? What's good with you? Vanessa Robinson, we see you. T. Green, we see you. What up? Real, raw talk, real deal. 55, take that, raw talk, yeah. Take that with you. Dust Fro, what up? What's going on? Let's get to it. I know it's late. I know it's late. Yeah, you get a 55, Ricky. You been getting 55 since Starrett City days. 55 for you too, Ricky. You could get the 55. Yeah. Equal opportunity. 55 gang in effect. Big Derek, what up? Salute. Batty, what's going on? Yes. Let's get it right. Listen up. Now, you know we come here and we are equal opportunity ass kickers. We kick the sisters in their ass. We kick the brothers in their ass. And we make sure that we do it from a perspective of great intelligence, wisdom, and for correcting. When we don't correct ourselves, who else is going to do it? We don't agree with everyone. Everyone is not going to agree with us. But we definitely make every attempt to be factual and truthful. So we have to sit down and really get to the meat of specific narratives that are doing this to our nation. But we have to hear people. We definitely have to hear people. Like I always say, we guard our mind. And guarding our mind means being open to the information, processing it, whatever we can utilize and utilize for good, we do. Whatever can't be utilized and is trash, it gets spit out. So Corey Holcomb, who is consistently going viral, okay? Consistently going viral. Went viral a couple of days ago for a statement that he made regarding his daughter. What was not surprising, because this is something that he said before, but was the sentiment from other black men who stood in agreement with him, and many people were taken aback by it. To paraphrase what was said, because again, we don't promote other people. And the only time I ever ask you to go and view something or go and read something is just for the purpose of class, right? So you can be well informed about the specifics of what we're talking about. So in paraphrasing, he made the statement that he could care less about his daughter because she's as foul as her mama. And that she just happened to get here. And then love the mother. I never loved your mama. And you here, but when you was here, I did the best that I was able to do for you until you reach a certain age. And now that, they're grown, you were raised by her, or he's saying that she was raised by her mama, so she has the same attributes, the same traits. And as such, he has no allegiance to them and won't be hustled or pressured or feel any guilt in his treatment of this now adult person. And other expletives and things of that nature. But he also put a very general statement out there about the children of this generation, and that they have no honor, no integrity, and don't give a damn about you or us as parents. Some people thought it was foul because from where they sit, they can't imagine that. They couldn't imagine that this would come out of a black man's mouth in 2024. But others applauded it. A lot of black men applauded it. And this is what I always get triggered by, because it is something that has been built over the last decade for real. This victimization, self-victimization by black men and their position, right? Or their perceived positioning in society today. And how people have thrown liquid, like gaslight. How people, social media, have taken canister of gasoline and thrown it on this flame. So now we're sitting in a pocket where you have some very disgruntled and most times enraged black men. And they are making their voices heard more and more frequently and louder daily. A lot of people are missing this. Women are missing this specifically. And as I always tell you, that anger, that uncontrolled anger, right, is a catalyst, right? And even a conduit towards domestic violence. Wherever you find a domestic violence group, facilitator, program, you're going to always, if it's a good program, have anger management either embedded in the program or taken with the program. It is just like that. It should be a twin or a sibling, at least, of domestic violence, anger management. So people don't understand this, these gatherings, these groupings, right? These bromances where they are being encouraged to view themselves in a space where they are alone and allowed to paint these pictures in their head of them not being needed, wanted, or understood within their settings, whether it was within their home, whether it's at work, whether it's in a general society. Them being allowed to keep listening and creating these pockets, right, of animosity. Listen, it is a boiling point that we're not ready for. I'm going to tell you like that. We're not ready for it. However, it is very, when I tell you, it is becoming very common. I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. Now, though it's becoming more frequent and it's becoming louder, it doesn't represent a large part of the black male population. It just doesn't. Again, things on social media are magnified. Damn near 100-fold. Because you see something and it goes viral does not mean that those actual numbers or that visibility is represented out here in the true real world. Just doesn't. Like I told you before, you have people that are on social media with outrageous subscription numbers or outrageous views, and you're constantly seeing them, but the good majority of people who just don't mess with social media. So therefore, their statements, their opinions right? Their theories, their back and forths don't reach many ears. It just doesn't. But I want you to understand that it is growing and we have to be mindful of it, just like anything else. Just like the bankers want us to continuously be reminded of certain language that is anti-banker because we've been through so much, we won't forget. And all this other weirdness, right? You don't want them to forget that. And the language is very specific about them and what they went through in the 1930s and the 40s and the Schindler's List and all that. They're keying, they hear the language and they run to it. We, and I'm speaking to black men, have to be mindful of language that could incite you to view your women and children negatively. Okay? Be very keen with that ear. Now, if it is you, so be it. Walk in your truth. If that is your truth and you actually believe it, walk in it. But as we say with anybody who walks in their truths, and their truths may not be right and exact, you will hold those consequences, whatever they may be. Whether you may be ostracized and ran out of town like Frankenstein, or you are forced to manifest those beliefs. Because if you truly hate black women and children and you truly view them as an enemy of you, then you're going to manifest that. You're going to walk in that space. And that in itself is a very lonely walk. Trust and believe that. So if it is you, if you believe that you have been so mistreated and misunderstood by black women and children and by other black men, sit in it. Unless you come into class and we can articulate in the best way possible why you may want to change your perception. Because trust and believe, nobody is going to love you and understand you more than black women and children. But let's not take away from Mr. Holcomb's truth and the truth of millions of men like him. Because there is a very, very large population of this generation who do not respect anything. They just don't. That is very true. And anybody that I have under my counsel will tell you that I've said it on many occasions. You do not allow children that you have raised that are now adults run your life. You do not allow them to speak to you in a manner in which you are overwhelmed with guilt and grief, or where you find yourself working for them and they don't appreciate it. That goes across the board. That's just not a man's issue. That's a woman's issue as well. Especially when the majority of single households are women. So you see how perception and narratives could get spun out of control? Where these men who want to be appreciated, who want to be understood, who feel they are dishonored, are not even in a home. Perception is everything. Guard your mind now. Guard your mind. It's very difficult for one to respect and honor you if you ain't there, if they don't know you. Okay? Come on now. Come on now. We have a generation, and it's true. They will dishonor you. They will not respect you. And they won't think twice about taking you out. As we've seen in just 2 classes ago, did we not? 23-year-old kills 8 family members in Joliet, Illinois. Right? 31-year-old kills family members. Right? We just seen it. We see it every day. Oh, and by the way, we had another shooting in Brooklyn tonight. So like I told you, every day, somebody's getting shot in Brooklyn. Yeah, so okay, so put that on the tally too. Put that on the count. Yeah, and we ain't even into the next day yet. Okay? So now, let's get back to what he said and the truth in it. Because we have men, as you have seen and bear witness to, that disconnect from what we know as the family unit. And we could go back to all of the root reasons, and we could be current with the excuses. But there's a fact that men have disconnected from the family unit. Now, if we don't, like I want to say, like I always say, get to the root cause for each individual. Get to the root cause for each individual, because they all may have different reasons and excuses for them not being in the household. But we cannot put a general statement on it, such as many do. Well, the system forced black men up out of the household, which is, again, another false narrative. I told you that for my entire life growing up in NYCHA, New York City, Housing Authority, the projects, that every one of my childhood friends' father was home working. We had Mr. Chestnut, Mr. Lawton, Mr. Bonner, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Johnson. Mr.'s everywhere. Mr. Casey, all over. Mr. Curry, everybody pops was there. Mr. Anton, in the projects, working. They worked for transit, they were truck drivers. Yeah, they were from all walks of life. They worked for the phone company. So that wasn't my narrative growing up. In the worst section of Brooklyn to this very day. Gun violence, drug addiction, all that. Everybody's father was in the household. Everybody's father was working. We knew of all that. So that narrative I don't let sit. And you know what else would happen with these 2-parent homes? With these double income homes? They still had children like me, who grew up and didn't pay attention to everything they said and was in the streets. Yeah. Yeah. So when they paint these narratives, right? I'm a narrative buster. Bust it all up. Everything that one would believe should have, I had. And still, in spite of that, end up doing 2 state bids. Do you understand that? So when they throw these narratives, when they throw these generalizations out into the air as absolute fact, we have to challenge that. We have to challenge that. It's not 100% true. Okay? Not 100% true. But in that statement, and in the collective sigh of relief that I heard from a lot of black men, I'm like, whoa. Whoa now. Because this ain't the time for that. It's not the time for it. But again, people like to use these narratives and these conversations as the default so they could fall back into their coping mechanisms and push the bullshit. Right? They say things like that and then push passport brother ideology in there. They push victimization, oh, woe is me, the black man can't get respect narrative out there. That's coping shit. Again, I told you, when you hear black men speak like that, they sound like Karens to me. Okay? But you're not putting Mr. Holcomb in that space. He definitely didn't sound like a Karen. He was matter of fact and standing on his square, acknowledging a very real fact that not only he, but that any individual can have. F you if you are not part of who I am, who made me, and how I manifest myself. And we cannot get mad at that. No matter how shocked you may be by that truth, but you can't get mad at an individual for that. Because many of us hold that same sentiment. We may not hold it for our children. And to his point, it could be a weakness. It could be a weakness for many. Because many of us have inherited our belief systems. We said this, I don't know how many times in class and in my personal counsel. You inherit belief systems. And that's 90%, 95% of our people. Whether it be from grandma or from your parents, it is an inherited belief system. It is not one that you went out and searched for. Many do now, which is why you hear communities such as conscious and woke communities start to flourish, because as people get into who they truly are, they seek other information in order for them to craft their being. So we only act on what we know. I always tell you, you know what you know. You don't know any more, you don't know any less. You know what you know, you don't know any more, you don't know any less. So when people get a new awareness, when they are able to get new information, they are able to manifest differently. Now, in his space, this has been a consistent theme when it came to him and this particular woman and child, or for all we know, this is a consistent in his view. This is what he witnesses. This is how people shape their thoughts. These are the themes. So the theme of his life has always been, this woman is foul. I don't rock with you. And in each other woman he come across, he looks for those character traits. So regardless if you have a child or not, if there's no connection, if he himself is not connected to black women and children in a way right here that satisfies who he believes he is, it's dismissive. You can get rid of it. And that dismissiveness is inherent in a lot of black men because society itself has dismissed us, thrown us away. You don't matter. This is why it's dangerous to be in the space of that narrative. Because I keep telling y'all, everywhere you look, you do not see black men. There's no representative of black men at all. You see mannequins, you see caricatures, you see false images. You do not see the realness, and there is no rites of passage. There is no structure in order for you to separate yourself from this society that has dismissed you. And therefore, you pick up these emotions, you pick up these thoughts, and that is how you manifest outwardly. Which is why it's so easy for black men to pick up and go. It has even been made more easier in the last 2 or 3 decades because they haven't been held accountable for getting up and leaving. The only one who can hold them accountable for those actions is their enemy. And if you're utilizing black women and children as a means to allow their enemy to hold them accountable, well, guess who's going to feel the effects of that rage, of that anger? So you got millions of black men who believe this about millions of black women and millions of children. So it's only right, it's only scientifically factual that they're going to feel that. The trauma of being a black man, just like any other trauma, is going to force you to find a way to survive, to find a way to cope, to find a default. That's what shapes your consciousness. So if in that, hear me out now, in that trauma, your coping mechanism is for you to fight back. It's for you to defend yourself. You begin to have a whole different idea, a whole different frame of thought. Okay? Whole different frame of thought. So therefore, yeah, we are in a space right now. We're in a time right now where that is the initial thought of black men. No black adults. Fuck you and them kids. Now that's the sentiment that they've been having for a long time. Whether they tell you directly, whether they tell it to you in their actions by having several women and children outside of whatever contractual agreement arrangement that they have with initials, or whether they tell you it by becoming drunkards, by becoming, drug addicts, or consistently going back and forth to jail, or by bedding white women, or Asian women, or by bedding other men. All of those happen to be the end the end result of the actions that traumatized men have. That's just where you at with it. Whether they vocalize it as he did, right? Or you don't know how to communicate it. You don't know how to say it. You don't know how to put it in words. For a lot of reasons. Whether y'all want to say black men don't talk, they don't know how to express their emotions, however you want to say it. If it's not articulated, if it's not vocalized, they're saying it in their actions. Now, who's to blame for it? I always say, for me, any issue that we have as a nation, I always point back to our enemy. I don't point to the black woman. She has no power and authority over how these systems and institutions run. She don't. Can't blame the kids. They just got here. They's just born here, so you can't scratch. You can't go. We can't be solely responsible because we don't have no power. We don't run shit. There's a shared responsibility. Absolute shared responsibility because we are oppressed. We have an oppressor. We have an enemy. That's an absolute fact. That's an absolute fact. I don't care who you want to believe in. He ain't get rid of that oppressor. She ain't get rid of that oppressor. The energy, whatever you want to do, whether it's a rock, whether it's some incense, whether it's some dicker beads, whatever it is, ain't get rid of your oppressor. So that right there is always to blame. So all this bickering back and forth, fighting these narratives and all this other weird shit that these sociologists come up with, that shit is bullshit. They're not getting down to the root cause of it. That's where we keep fumbling. You hear me? So when a man can sit on a platform and be matter of fact, okay, with saying that, you have to hear it. You have to hear it. This is not a broke, poor man. This is not a cowardly man. This is an intelligent individual who chose a specific field and was very good in his field and pulled up out of certain institutions, telling you exactly how he feels, and when others are sitting there and applauding and congratulating, and that is something that you have to pay attention to because it's very real. Whether your daddy said it, whether your brother said it, whether your uncle said it, or whether your child's father too said it. That's the sentiment. That's the sentiment. F them kids. And when they can say that and mean it, we could just fall back from nation building and talk and all that. You could forget that. Because that has to be the initial piece. The love of self is knowing that those that you brought here are a reflection of you. Those that you lay with are a reflection of you. If you hate them, then you hate yourself. Then there is no unity. No black unity. Not at all. Can't happen. Because your ultimate warrior is an army of one. It's an army of one. With no foundation, with no loyalty to the self. You can forget all that. That's why that's being said so freely. That's why you're seeing it so freely. You understand? What is being said? What is being done? You understand that? The term passport, brother, do you understand the layers in that terminology? It's a bad place. Terrible place. For black people to be in. When your man can say F them kids. Now, let's be truthful. Because these kids will kill you. Make no bones about it. No, make no bones about it. They will kill you. Why? Well, haven't been nurtured. They haven't been nurtured. And without them being nurtured, then they can't. It's impossible for them to get knowledge of self. Because you can't get knowledge of yourself if you can't comprehend. Everything is science and math. Without comprehension, you can't read the degrees. You have to. There has to be a connection. There has to be a way to process thought into manifestation. And it's very difficult to come through any environment or come into being, and you coming into being in a place of trauma. If you're coming addicted, crack babies, dope baby, you're coming addicted, you're coming into a world, a setting of abuse. There's no nurturing there, so the mind is not allowed to expand and is not allowed to understand the difference between pain and love, the difference between satisfaction and hunger. You know, it's very difficult. So there's a reason for these kids being able to kill you, though you are a parent, you are a grandparent. There's no comprehension of that. So now you layer that with the fact that they haven't been nurtured, They raise themselves with different language. And then they're addicted to all type of wild shit. And you get what we got in Brooklyn last week. A man who was about peace, making an attempt to break two guys up that were fighting, arguing on a train, and he gets gunned down. This is where we're at right now. So there's a fear of black men when they get this treatment from, of course. So if Mr. Holcomb, is in a space where he has made a way for himself, he's financially stable and legit, and everything from that space is coming at him to take. That's a fearful space for him. I mean, Whitey not trying to take it from him, but every time he turn around, his own is trying to take. That's a very fearful space for them to be in. And when you're scared, you're going to do two things. You're either going to fight or you're going to run. He's a fighter. You understand where we're going at with this? So if you push and trigger black men, the fear kick in, and some of them kick your ass. They kick back. Right? Some of them run. That's why it's easy for them to have 4, 5, 6 different women with children from, because they're running. Every time the responsibility kick in, every time the push comes in, I'm out. Until they crash. I just want you to understand the statement and the truth in that. There's a truth in his statement and what was said. Anybody's been in my council room and they got kids. I already told y'all what I tell you. You never allow anyone or anything to have power or control over you. Because you do have young people. I don't care how old. 12, 13, 16, 17, 19, 25. Who will play on that? That you're the parent. You're supposed to take care of me. Without really understanding that. And we're of an age now where we have certain parents who wasn't taught that. So it's constant conflict. And the only way we can get through that and get past that is if we have truthful conversation, honest dialogue. That is part of consciousness and awareness. Salute, Molly. Much appreciated for funding the war effort. Okay? Well, black men are in a very bad space. Not bad because they are wrong, but bad because they are misinterpreting their world. And you're going to misinterpret your world when you don't attack the source of your problem, which is your enemy. Get rid of these old phrases, I guarantee you. Just like that. Unity, quick. But in chasing around different people. We got another woman shot in Queens. A drive-by. Just to let y'all know. Okay, so that's 2 for tonight. Yeah. Okay, so far. All right? So, going back to last night's class. Yeah. Told you every day, so I don't know where they're getting their numbers from. But let's continue. Because we got another funny style father. Okay? Another funny style. Two fathers. Okay? Who have some very, very, very funny style moves. Very funny style moves. Now, we've been on old Floyd Mayweather Jr. This old shucking and jiving, old Jeff Rowe boot-licking dude for quite a few classes already. Supporter of Israel. Funder of the Israeli effort. Owner of a strip club. Owner of BBL manufacturing plant. Yeah, not plant, but, doctors and services and all that. Yeah. Someone who feels that you must be a fake, put-together woman in order to be valued. And valued in a way of where we can put you in a strip club. This is a man of a daughter. Yeah, we back to him in class because we're talking about the mentality of black men and how they manifest themselves. So now as Corey has vocally said, F these kids, damn these kids, damn that woman. Ain't nobody taking nothing from me. Right? Here is a man who is manifesting that. Now, he's too afraid to say it, but he's manifesting it. And he's such a weak person, Mr. Mayweather Jr., such a weak person that he allows his daughter to be abused and his abuser of the daughter to abuse him as well and threaten him. But look at what he did today, which is why we're speaking. He sat again, flaunting his riches in some type of, what do you call that shit? Wide body Bentley with suitcases of money, the bag, saying, here, this bag is for NBA young boy. I could give you the bag. After this man threatened you, allegedly laid hands on your daughter, and specifically just the other day said, I hate that girl. But here you are. Somebody, you gonna give him money. Do you understand that? Hold up. Hold up. Y'all got to hear this. Got to hear this. The abuser, the alleged abuser of his child, says he hates your child. And he don't care nothing about you and even threatens you on occasions. But you got a bag for him. Now hear me out. This is a man who has hands, allows a young punk to disrespect him. But yet, we're looking at what Corey Holcomb said. This generation don't honor you. They don't have no loyalty. They don't respect. And this is why. Because here you have a man who is a grandfather, a supposedly wealthy man, Money Mayweather, right? Allowing himself to be disrespected, to try to buy honor and loyalty from some criminal who puts hands on your daughter. Okay? Because for every action, there's a reaction, supposedly. For every theory, there's a practice. Okay? For every theory, there's a practice. So if we have been in 2 or 3 generations where the practice of our youth has been to disrespect men because the men are absent or don't have a connection to them, of course, by the time they get to a certain age, they're not going to think anything about you. So here we have a very wealthy individual, seemingly wealthy individual, who again brags about he can't read, he's not literate, he has no schooling. The kids are watching that. Who we know is a fighter, but allows that to happen to his daughter, who allegedly has no schooling as well. So what do the outside children look? Where are we getting an example of how men should deal with young people and young people should deal with men? Where we get an example of how parents should deal with children and how children should be with parents? Where's the example? How are we to be taught? If we see these same men going to the oppressor and are only valued when the oppressors say they're valued, how do we become liberated? Okay? But this is where we at now. So now, check this out now. I want you to listen and hear me. Because you may say, oh, Bliz, we got people like you. We have other examples of people who said that they got the answer, who seemingly challenge our enemies and our oppressors, and they stand tall. And I say, where? They do? And then every example you give me, I shoot them down with excellent reasoning. So now, the latest individual who was supposed to be a champion of children, of teens, of juveniles and justice, and I work for the children, Mr. Charleston White. That's what he said. That's what he was. That's how he blew. That was his answers to everything. I work for the children, the kids. And he somehow in the mix of that flipped and got to a point where he said, damn the kids, F the community. It's about me. I got to get paid. And started doing a whole lot of sus stuff. Oh, yeah. And we started seeing him with Ofays, Karens and Beckys, porn queens and midgets. And it all been about $1 and looking like a rap dude. And he's a comedian. But he got you in the beginning initially saying he was the example of which we should follow. But he's with Floyd Mayweather now. So all of those theatrics, he had an end result. So now he's with Floyd Mayweather. But hold on, how did he get there? How did he get to the attention of Mr. Mayweather? Well, he had a highly publicized beef with NBA YoungBoy. The same man who allegedly abused Floyd Mayweather's daughter. The same man who threatened Floyd Mayweather. And then he flipped it. Because after getting the attention of this young boy, the young boy put his name in a song. Again, the narrative shifts. And there's no talk. Absolute opposite. There's a disdain for helping the community. There's a disdain for Black unity. There's a disdain for the youth. Because now it's all about getting to the bag. But hold on. I've seen this play before. And I'm starting to think Mr. Mayweather is more than an agent. Yeah, because this is not a new play. The same way we had another champion of the Black man stand up. Excellent orator, dazzled people. His name was Brother Polite. You remember him? Oh, yeah. Debating with Israelites, breaking down the Christians, going hard at intellectuals. He was the shining star of consciousness. And then he flipped and was in all type of Versace and all type of red bottom caps and shoes. And going to the basketball games. And fixing credit. And then it happened. You started seeing him with Floyd Mayweather Jr. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. was advocating and speaking about his relationship with Brother Polite publicly. And then what happened? Brother Polite went down and went to jail. Somebody need to check on him too, matter of fact. See if he's in PC. Sure haven't heard of it. Sure haven't heard anything of it. He might be in PC. If you can't find him in PC, he's in CIA headquarters getting a chip put in him. Yeah, just like Grandmaster Jay and them. You know, once they got you back there, they put chips and shit in these individuals. Well, who knows? They may be on a new island somewhere. Okay? But we can't leave out this common denominator. Because it really make no sense that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is flicking it up with Charleston White. The last person he was flicking it up with and advocating for went down. So, Mr. White, you need to be very careful. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they like to rerun plays. And man, this sure would be a sad story if you ended up behind bars because of your new buddy. But this is Black men for you. None of that, and we over an hour in, none of that had to do with the liberation of our people. I keep telling y'all that we're in a bad space. Terrible space. Now, we have an ex-NFL player, Ricky Williams. If you don't know about him, look him up. Look him up. But Mr. Ricky Williams reappeared this week. Excuse me, or was it last week? But he was brought to our attention, class, because Mr. Ricky Williams Williams was married and has taken the last name of his Ofe wife. I'm telling you, these big, strong, buck-ass Mandingo are looking real crazy in these streets. Now, hold on now. As I said before, I'm in certain spaces and people call me all type of things. You may hear people call me Bliz. You may hear people call me Brother Karim. You may hear people call me General. You may hear people call me Black. You may hear people call me Mr. Johnson. It's rare. And you may hear people call me Mr. Huger. And that is the in-law's name. Mean anything? No. Not at all. However, my peoples ain't no Ofes. No, 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 no. No, not at all. And it's not legal. No. Most people don't understand how serious marriage is on a contract, on paper. That's why they get into it and don't know until they try to get out of it. That's one thing these institutions that we live under, these people don't play when it comes to things on paper. So this man, big old buck man, big old strong ass, manly man, this old Mandingo, ran on a football field, running people over. Okay? Just took whatever legacy in that Williams name and chucked it out. Remember, he might still be a little foggy. Remember, he was one of the first initial people pushing to legalize marijuana. Remember that? He caught cases and all that. I think he got thrown out the league for that, if I'm not mistaken. Blowing. Guess he was way before his time. He was blowing for a long time. But to take on an Ofe's name and some different shit. Different shit. You understand that? People, I'm telling you, do not play with your name. I don't care what they keep telling y'all about branding and LLCs and businesses and all that. Don't play with your name, man. It means so much in these conditions that we're under, in this institution that we're under. I'm telling you something, okay? When somebody who went from the army, I'm telling you, for somebody who name has been in good and terrible standing with these people. I'm telling you, it is nothing for you to play with. They don't play with it. And it's funny how people want to hate our enemies so much, but don't learn about them. Don't see how they move. That Bush name is everything. The Clinton name is everything. The Rockefeller name is everything. The Kennedy, you don't play with your name. You don't do that at all. Okay? So now Mr. Ricky Williams, Mr. Marijuana Connoisseur, you know, took this old fake name, and I don't know it. I didn't even want to even go through the story like that. Don't even want to do it at all. Okay? But I'm telling you guys, look, I want y'all listen to these dumbass people on social media talking about making yourself a brand and making yourself this and getting rid of your name. When you pull up out of a specific entity, then you are looked at as something else. That's why all these rappers and athletes know. That's why they toe up. That's why they are owned by other people. And other people are getting bread off of them because they wanted to play with that shit. They listened to somebody thinking that they were smart and intelligent. And now they really, in all reality, don't exist. That's how you see that the more famous they get and the more acquired income that they have, wealth for some, they go back to that name on that birth certificate. Yeah. Jay-Z is Sean Carter now. That's it. You understand? That Jay-Z is owned. Sean Carter isn't. You understand that shit? You think he was going somewhere with ODB? No. His name is Russell Jones. And if Russell Jones become a brand, if Sean Carter becomes a brand, then that's a brand that can easily at any time be fought for, be dismantled. Okay? Don't play no games with your name. So now this big buck took an old fake name. And usually 8 out of 10 times when these dudes marry these old fays, they not marrying into wealth. So this her name, her family name may not be shit. But again, the mentality of them believing that just because he got him an old fay that he on top of the world. She could be working in Mel's diner. He don't give a damn. He gonna sniff in her ass. And that's just what it is. But again, our children are watching. So this is the lack of respect. This is what you see in these streets. This is what you see. How are black men wanting to be respected, wanting to be honored, right? Because that's what Mr. White said too. Mr. Charleston White said it. He just said it. He said that black men, and I'm going to quote him on this, sacrifice everything and get no rewards. That black men's happiness means nothing. That's what he said. That's what he said, that black men sacrifice everything for everyone and get no rewards and their happiness means nothing. See, this is the victim shit. This is woe is me, I'm a black man shit. And in the same sentence says, but a foreign woman, you could give her a bag of fruit, and her family will appreciate that fruit. You see the ideas that they throwing out there? To have a victim bonding point? I always ask black men, and I'm going to be 1,000 with it. What the hell you deserve to be happy for? What in the hell do you deserve to be rewarded for? Why should you do your happy dance and shuck and jive and get props and be respected when you got an oppressor over you. You have no time. Nobody's supposed to be giving you no happiness and no joy. Fuck is you happy for? When your people's in the same conditions. Leading back to the beginning. Okay? The disrespect that comes from your women and your children. How can they respect you? How can they respect you? Why would they want to see you happy when it is a false space? What slave on a plantation deserve to be happy? Niggas, y'all got work to do. Worried about happiness. Nobody gonna respect you when you not providing nothing. What are you providing? They always victim shame. Nobody appreciate that. We give everything. We do everything. And when they say that about black men, I always question them. I'm like, hold on. Because I know black men. And I know black men that don't provide shit. And they get everything. I know a bunch of black pimps. I don't never see them crying and complaining and victim shaming or victim bonding or none of that. And they don't give nothing and get everything. Those are black men. They get it all. They get it all. And then some. With little effort. So what's the difference between them and these dudes who are whining and crying about not being appreciated? It's confusing to me. Are they not black men? I see them roll around in the finest. Somebody's appreciating them. Yeah. So again, I'm telling y'all, watch the narratives that come. Watch the narratives that are being spit at you. Because they'll have you looking crazy out here. They will. They will. Guard your mind. These people are playing for your attention because your attention is a resource. Okay? It is what it is. Now, before we leave, we have to speak on the sisters Teyana Taylor, who seemingly shut TMZ down. And I want to give her a clap for that. Okay? I want to give her a clap for that. All right? TMZ falsely reported a lot of things as pertaining to Miss Teyana Taylor and her divorce from Imam Shumpert. And she got at him. Told him, yo, listen, please shut this shit down because I ain't make no statements on nothing. On anything. Cut y'all bullshit out. And there were statements that Mr. Shumpert had cut off the gas and the other utilities, gas and lights and water in the space that he was sharing with her in the mix of this divorce, which had me getting ready to go way in. Like, hold up. This is moving foul like that? Again, because they are being shaped, right, by these he-man, woman-hating club-ass individuals. That's what we got going on now. Y'all don't understand it. This shit is prevalent on social media, on chat lines and all. You got this no ma'am shit like Al Bundy and them. Okay? They represent no ma'am and they don't want no women and this and that. And the he-man woman haters club, little rascals and shit. And you think it's not prevalent, but it is. And dudes are secretly hearing these ideas and getting off to them, secretly going to sleep and dreaming about a world with no women. You know what kind of lizard shit that is, but it's prevalent. So you gotta listen to these ideas that's formulating, especially from men who weren't taught how to be men. And because they are stumbling in families, in relationships, they're blaming others instead of getting with themselves. Or, as I tell some of my fathers in the program, nigga, you stuck your pee-pee in the wrong one. You know, again, because you weren't nurtured, no one taught you what a good woman is. So you ran up in a fool. And you ran up in a fool, and you brought children into this world. I'm saying you can't fault the children because you slipped up into a custody or somebody who has crazy, we're all people, and people present themselves in a manner of which is going to get them through society comfortably. So you got some very, very good looking, gorgeous women running around who are complete nuts up here, who don't know how to navigate any system, who don't know how to articulate themselves in any platform. Okay? It happens. So you got caught. You can't get mad at the world because that happened to you. You understand? And same with the men. And women want to run around. You want to hate men and all that because you keep getting these dusty, stink-ass dudes. That's on you. This is how it is. And this is what goes on with the people who are an oppressed class. You're going to bump into some type of garbage one way or another. But the intelligent mind, the conscious mind, the always aware person who moves and walks with purpose understands how to avoid those situations. And even though we get caught, people wear these masks, man. I'm telling you, these masks are something else. You think a mask and costume is only for Halloween? No. That shit is all year round. People in society wear societal masks. That's why I don't mess with nobody with all that makeup and the eyelashes and the wigs. That's a mask. And the body shapers and the heels and the tie and all that, looking all good. You get them home and they look crazy. Couple of weeks in, you're like, hold on, what is that? People wear masks all year round. When you're conscious, you gotta know how to read it and read it quick. You understand it? So Miss Taylor told TMZ to stay out my business. You dig what I'm saying? Because she said she put nothing out there. Spoke on nothing. None of that shit. None of it. You understand? And I'm trying to figure out how did they get to be the tell-all? Who is this dude, Harvey and them? And y'all just got carte blanche information on everybody in the industry. And like, what is that? If that ain't CIA, I don't know what is. We gotta be careful, because like she said, I didn't say none of that. I didn't put none of that. This was in the last statement she said to them was, and let's settle this once and for all. I filed my divorce under initials for privacy, which I kept this matter private for almost a year until someone decided to file a motion using our full names, which then made our divorce proceedings public for the world to see. Okay? So what's going on? And she also said, also, let me add, all of the utilities in my home was on the same day after that was pulled. Me and my kids are never going to be sitting ducks. So if it did happen, and if he did do that, because that's what I'm thinking, like, damn, she ain't got no bread. Like, where we going at with that? But again, it's to keep in the media, in the world's eyes, disunity between black men and black women. Okay? And I'm telling you that y'all got to start checking these narratives and cutting them down, because how your image is presented to the world is what's going to give you strength or weakness. It's going to give you strength or weakness. And right now we're looking real weak. We're looking real weak because we're not united. They give anybody a bag. They can buy anybody a goddamn burger meal and they'll rat on their goddamn day one homie. They can do anything. They can manipulate somebody's grippers and they'll sell out. It's just, we are looking weak. And when you look weak, those who are in a specific position and those who have audience are going to speak out from the point of which they sit. And if they're sitting in anger, and if they're sitting in a space where they want to lash out, and if they're sitting in a space where people are taking what they say as absolute truth, we are going to be in a world of shit as we build up. Okay? Let's get this shit right. So again, I didn't think it was going to be a long class. I know y'all West Coast people, y'all get a kick out of this shit. Y'all just now ending the LA game and all that. Over here, we tired on the East Coast. We tired. It's 10-1. We about to take it on down. Okay? And as always, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. Our people. Our legacy. Okay? Has to shift. This story right now is looking real crazy. Okay? It's looking crazy. We cannot end it like this. All right? Stop letting people lie to you. Every day I see black men and black women loving each other, loving on their kids, being extra productive, you understand, in solid relationships. The only thing that's missing is that push. Get up from up under these people, their institutions, their values and beliefs. That's it. Okay? So all peace and power to the people that struggle. Get back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. 55 gang, get y'all shit together. Get y'all shit together, 55. Because the 55 gang is the one who don't be funding war effort. The 55 gangs is the same ones that go to them churches and don't be giving the pastor they tithes. They're the same ones. That 55 gang, ooh-wee. Tight. 55 gang. Like, goddamn, 55 gang. I'm gonna start to have to come up on here like Leon, Lonnie Love. And just wrestling shit up. You got to wrestle the 55 gang. They be holding on and while it all tight. You got to struggle with them. What the hell's the matter? God damn. Ooh-wee. Shit. Everybody headed out of Lucid Views. Where the hell you was at? I'm out heading out. God damn it, it's 1 o'clock. Peace. Yes, good vibration, stepmommy, all that. Somebody get at elusive vibe. View. Get them right. Get them right.